One of the struggles that is often comes up in my conversations with my clients is how do we balance our time with the day-to-day work and also create space to be the visionary leaders that are necessary. I have this conversation quite a bit with my clients, and I want to share with you, kind of behind the scenes, what's really going on here. Well, when you think about you being a founder of a company, one of the things that you've been really good at is actually getting the work done, and maybe even selecting people to help you get the work done. And so you've been so integral to the growth of the company that you feel like that's a part of why you're successful. I totally get this, but here's the challenge. When you think about the next evolution of leadership, you have to be willing to let go of the old way and find new ways forward. You have to be able to fire yourself from these, day-to-day concepts or the meetings that you're going to all the time so that you can actually create space to empower your employees. Balancing the day-to-day and becoming the visionary really shouldn't be that big of a struggle if your company is going to continue growing beyond where it is today. When I'm talking to clients, one of the key questions that comes up in their coaching conversations is this. If you're not focused on the visionary work, who is? Now, you probably know what I mean by this because as the CEO of a company, if you're tuning into this, no one else is doing the visionary work if you're not doing it. And so that's how important it is to the success of the company. That visionary work is all of the stuff you do to see around the corner, to be able to look at the industry as a whole, to be able to look at competitive threats, to look at innovations happening, to be able to push beyond the boundaries of where you are today to redefine your company when necessary. And if you're stuck in the day-to-day, if you're going to, 8 meetings a day and trying to fit things in all the time, you'll never make time like you need to for that visionary work. Now, I'm bringing this to the surface here because I have this conversation quite a lot. And for us to look behind the scenes here today, you have to ask yourself, are you really creating the space to be the visionary leader that your team deserves? What does that look like? Well, it looks like you thinking. It looks like you having time to think, the white space inside your calendar. It looks like you scheduling long meetings with yourself so that you can either work on this thinking or you can work on the bigger strategy ideas behind this. Maybe you're taking walks. Maybe you're scheduling a day for yourself. Maybe you schedule 3 days for yourself and go check in a hotel. It could look like different things, but the key behind this is, are you being very intentional about being the visionary leader of your company? Because if you're stuck in that day-to-day, if you're stuck in the meetings that are happening all throughout the week, then it's hard to be the visionary and you will always struggle with that balancing act. And I really want you to think about this. It's really not about balancing. It's about you being the visionary and about you empowering your people to take ownership of their goals, of their processes, of moving the company forward, and you stepping back to look at the visionary. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to get in the trenches with your employees too, because I do believe that that is a part of your job so that you can actually be a better visionary, is tuning in to what's going on day to day. And so that is the challenge that you have as your company continues to evolve. I wanted to create this video because a lot of people are struggling with this balancing act of day-to-day and visionary, and they're trying to get it all done. But here's the reality. You probably can't get it all done like you used to, because that visionary work is going to take more time. It's even more important the bigger your company gets, and you are the only one that's doing it. Because again, that question, who's doing it if you're not doing it? The answer is no one. And so when you think about you making time for that, don't let the little voice in your head talk you out of the visionary time for your business. That visionary time is how you are going to be able to see around the corner and see what's coming toward your company, toward your industry, and be able to get ahead of it. Be intentional about it. Now, hopefully that sounds kind of sexy to you, that you are the person that is doing that. But the reality of it is, it's not very sexy. You have to be disciplined to create that space for yourself and not be sucked in to the day-to-day. I bring this to you because it is a struggle that a lot of CEOs have, and I want to create content that will help you immediately create the space that you need to lead your team. Now, if you are struggling with this and you have any questions, make sure you reach out to the free resources on my website, genehammett.com. There's many episodes I've done around this. There's even a chance for you to actually talk to me. If you want to start your journey of coaching and really understand what that looks like, then make sure you go in there and set up some time for yourself with me to talk about your business. It's one-on-one. It's very powerful. And I'm not going to pressure you to buy anything, but if I can serve you, we'll talk about the different options. So this is my take on balancing your time in the day-to-day and being the visionary. And this is Behind the Scenes with Gene Hammett. This is Growth Think Tank. And when you think about leadership and you think about growth, think of Growth Think Tank. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.